What's up, guys? I'm up here in Marquette, Michigan. I'm up here visiting family and just thought I'd get out and do a little bit of metal detecting before I left. Hunting the curbsides right now, and haven't had a whole lot of luck, but I just pulled out something that sounded a little bit lower than a penny, and you're gonna want to check this out. So I didn't have to dig very deep to find this one, and seriously, I'm just on the side. It's just a very thin side off of the sidewalk there, and I pulled out this really awesome button. I don't know, I think that's some kind of a military button. I've actually never found any military wear or buttons of any sorts, but man, that's really cool, and it was shallow. But you guys are definitely gonna have to help me out with this one. Probably gonna do some more research on it later, but awesome find. Let's see if we can find some more. All right, I am on a very thin sidewalk strip now. Signals are weird today, but just got down in the hole and finally popped out my first coin of the day. It's really green wheat cent here. So I reckon that means they're probably going to be an old one. I think that's in the 40s, but I'll check back with you in a minute just to make sure. I'm out here at a neat little park now. Just got under this big tree, and my mom's on the swings over there. Let's see her. And yeah, we're just out here and doing a little bit of detecting, and just got up under this tree and pulled out this little tag that I don't know what that even says, but I think it's a little copper tag. Interesting find. I'll have to clean that up later and see what that says. Well, here's all my finds for 3 days of detecting. It's not much, but let's get right into it. So I went over to the beach and found a whole bunch of just aluminum, but I think I did find like 10 different types of pop tops. You know, you got these kind and the old kind from the 60s. A few coins there, mostly pennies. And then the next day I went out and got a whole bunch of different coins. These are all from different hunts, though, in different locations. Just a bunch of quarters, pennies, and dimes. And I think this is a airsoft cartridge, a little thing that would go on a toy gun. Got rusted over pretty bad, but for the good stuff, this is the stuff that I found on the sidewalk strips. To start off, we'll just look at this. It's a 1945 wheat cent. So that was our only old coin. I got this little tag out of the park that I never actually figured out what it was, but if you can tell, just let me know. I don't know, I can't really see those letters very well, but it was pretty cool. Probably a dog tag of some sort. And then the really cool find was this World War I General Service button, and that's what I looked it up, and that's what it is. So it's got a really pretty good looking shank still attached to the back of it. It's in really good condition. The only wear on it is just on the front, on these raised parts. It's a little bit red from wear. But as you can see, I mean, that's a really cool find, but other than that, I really didn't find much for 3 days of detecting. Just a bunch of junk, really, and then a few coins here and there. But that actually brings me to something that I've been wanting to talk about for a little while here. So I'm going to turn the camera around for a second now, and I just want to tell you a quick story. Now, I recently read an article titled "Why Metal Detecting is the Worst Hobby in the World." And it was by this woman who went out and decided to try metal detecting for the first time just so that she could give an idea of what it's like to her friends. Also, her 7-year-old daughter was the one that said she wanted to get a metal detector and try it out for the first time. So she thought that sounded pretty cool. So she goes and buys this metal detector for her daughter. I think she spent about $200 on it. And they go to some parks, they go to some beaches and see what they can find. Being their first time, they don't really know what they're doing. So she writes that she's often just digging up nails or some trash, pop tops, you know, the common stuff that you find, but nothing really cool. No, not even coins, just a bunch of junk basically. And she gets discouraged really quickly. I mean, obviously her younger daughter gets very discouraged because she's young. She doesn't really know how the world works. But the point I'm trying to make is that this woman here, she went out and metal detected, and I think that she set her expectations a little bit too high when she started. Now, one of my things with metal detecting, and the reason that I think it's such a great sport, is that I have such low expectations every single time I go out. I usually expect to find just like a few coins, basically what I found here over the past 3 days. And so when you have low expectations and you go out metal detecting, when you find something really cool like that World War I General Service button,
I mean, when you find something like this and you have low expectations, that is just the greatest thing. I mean, if you just find wheat pennies, you're happy. And so I think the key to being successful in this hobby is to have low expectations when you go out. Um, I don't see any reason to have high expectations because, you know, it's very possible that you will be dissatisfied when you only find a few coins. Another thing that I think she did wrong was she didn't research at all. She did no research whatsoever before she went out detecting. Instead, she just kind of drove around and looked and saw what looked like a good place, you know, maybe a park there or a beach there. And honestly, that is pretty much what I do. I call it lazy detecting, when you just don't do any research and you just, you know, you just go for it without really knowing what's going to be there. I think a good detectorist is going to go out and they're going to find where the people are and they're going to look there. But a great detectorist is going to put in the work, do some research, and find where people were, and they'll look there. And that's a lot harder to do. So just a few things there. I think metal detecting, if you want to do it and you want to do it successfully, you have to have two things. You have to be hardworking, you have to research the places that you want to go to, and you just have to have low expectations. It's just one of the things with metal detecting. I just think that if you want to be successful in this and if you want to be satisfied with what you're finding, you have to have low expectations and you have to go out, do the work, and research these places before you get there. So just a few things that I wanted to share with you guys at the end of the video. I know I didn't find a whole lot, but I think that just showcases my point even more. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Ryan, and this is three.naught, signing out.